Becoming a medically complex parent introduces you to things you never thought you would have to learn. You're overwhelmed by them. It simply introduces a whole new world. In that world are things like alarms, sensors, probes, wires, O2 cans, O2 concentrators, cannulas. The list can go on and on. As you grow with your child, you're going to learn all of these new and different things. In this video, I want to talk to you about pulse oximeters, how to wrap a pulse ox probe around a very squirmy toddler. Do you put it on the toe? Do you put it on the foot? How often do you change them, and more? These are things that in the hospital, it's just so automatic that you don't even think about it. And then when you get home, it can be overwhelming. And especially when you're in fight or flight mode, or you're being triggered by a beep, it can be very difficult to work with these things. How do you read the pulse oximeter? What is it telling you about your child? Of course, my child is different than your child. But what I can do is I can show you how to just read the lines on the pulse oximeter. What do the different colors mean? How do you change the heart rate so that it alarms when the heart rate goes under 90, or when the O2 goes above a certain amount or below a certain amount? How do you work these machines so that you can be prepared this first or second day when you go home and you don't have to freak out as much? I hope this video helps, and remember, if you enjoy my videos, please subscribe, and always don't be afraid to be Dr. Mom. These are the items that we personally use when we're connecting Paige, our 3-year-old medically complex toddler, to the pulse oximeter. These are two different brands of pulse oximeter probes. So you want to make sure, this is Nellcor and this is Covidien. How you're going to know if these work, sometimes you just have to try. One big hint is that this looks like it plugs in, it's shorter, it doesn't have a wire, and it's a different brand name. This, hint, hint, goes with our travel pulse oximeter. This one is a primary one. You're going to see this in hospitals. And this adapter right here, this is going to connect into the adapter that's connected to the pulse oximeter that's typically stationary by your child's bed. Coben tape is something they use in hospitals all the time, and we also use it every single time we put a pulse ox on Paige. What this does is it secures this. So you're going to wrap this around the patient's foot, and then we get a little strip of this. I'll show you how to do it in a minute. And you wrap it around this so that it prevents it from getting caught on something, of ripping off easier. And honestly, it just promotes easier accuracy on the pulse oximeter. This is called a posy. This is something that we found at a hospital when we went to it, and it does very similar to this. It's like a holder for the pulse oximeter. So it keeps the pulse ox probe in the position that you want it to. It does double duty to keep the pulse ox probe in place. So those are just some of the supplies you might need. This Coben tape sometimes is not covered by insurance. We have never found an insurance or DME company that provides these posies. So these we get on Amazon, like $50 for a few dollars. This one also is pretty inexpensive on Amazon. You can even get little colors if you're feeling creative.